Yeah, hello everyone. This is our initial video on our new YouTube channel here at PSVcap. I'm going to start going over a few races from time to time, some that have already taken place, and then we'll preview some races as well in the future. But just wanted to go over one here real quick. This is from 514 at Belmont, the Vagrancy Stakes, as you can see here. Grade 3, fillies and mares only, 4-year-olds and up. Excuse me. It was 6.5 over the dirt course. This is your post time, Central Standard Time. And then this is the track, obviously, Belmont 5:14:23. Just going to go over this real quick so you have a better understanding, hopefully, of the information that's provided here. Starting over here in the first column is the race. This is the 8th race. It'll be represented in every horse. We'll just represent that it's in the 8th race. Your program number of the horse, obviously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If there's a 1A, whatever, that will be represented here. They will be in post position order. So if the 1A was out here, this would say 1A. It will represent where his post position start is. Then you have the name of the race. Obviously, it's a grade 3 stakes race. Horse and jockey both in this column. The number 1 horse is Funny How, ridden by Katie Davis, with an 11% excuse me, winning percentage. This is determined by either this year's stats or if the jockey or trainer, we'll get to this a little later obviously, but if they do not have 40 starts in the current year, then it will go back to last year and combine last year and this year to give you this winning percentage. So this could vary a little bit from what you see maybe in a racing form or whatever, but that's where this number comes from. Then you have, these are 4-year-olds and up. We already talked about that. The morning line for each horse down the list. Running style and speed points. If you're not familiar with these, E is an early type. EP is more of a stalking type. P maybe sits a little bit further back. And an S would be more of a horse that likes to run back a little bit further in the field and then kind of run late, if you will. Now, also these are the Kieran speed points. They go from 0 to 8. 8 being the fastest horses, the horses that want to be on the lead. You kind of look at it like 7s and 8s are horses with plenty early speed. 5s and 6s, some early speed. Maybe 3s and 4s, maybe even 2s. They don't have much early speed, lack early speed, but they're not going to be all the way back. And then, your 0s and 1s really don't have any early speed. So these are positional, where they've been running, and these represent basically the same thing, really, how fast they go early and where they're positioned early. So this kind of is trying to give you a snapshot of the pace of the race. If you see a bunch of E8s and E7s in here, 3 or 4 of those maybe, you might want to think that it's going to maybe favor more of a late runner. And then the vice versa. You don't see a lot of those high numbers. It could favor more of a early type. Now, this particular race, if I was looking at it, there's a lot of EPs. I don't see 1E, some 5s and 6s. I would almost discount this a little bit and not worry about the pace. If it's not extreme or somewhat, leaning towards really pointing you in a certain direction, then I would much more just look at the PSV numbers and then these early and late numbers, which I'll talk about now. These are both a blend of pace and speed. The pace figures the horse has been running, along with the speed figures that they've been running, which are also represented over here, but we will get to that. So again, I use these pretty strongly, regularly. And if you look at this, Dr. B has the best early number. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be on the lead. He's not the fastest necessarily. He could be, but when you're blending pace and speed together, obviously it's not an early pace number. It's a blend of pace and speed. So, and then Rosa Veloce would have the second ranked early number, and so on as you go down this. So, and the same thing applies to the late number, a blend of pace and speed. So really kind of, I look at it like, okay, who's the best early type here? And to me, it would be Dr. B. Rosa Veloce, probably the second best early type. And then who's the best late horse? Late type. Carmel Swirl, the best late horse. He was the eventual winner in this race. Dr. B was second. Rosa Veloce was third. But so that kind of covers that section. Now we go over here to the performance figures. The last 4 races are listed. PF1, the most recent. Then PF2, PF3, PF4 being 4 races back. What's listed here is the performance figure that they earned for that race and the distance and surface with which that was earned on. 6 furlongs on the dirt here, ran a 95, 4 back. Going across to where their most recent race was a 7 furlong race on the dirt, he earned a 95. And as you can see, again, this is 6.5 on the dirt. So then below that, you have the horse's record information. This is the overall record. He's ran 8 times of his life. He's won 5 times. He's got a second, and he's got 2/3. Never off the board in 8 career starts. This is his record on today's surface. 6 starts, 4 wins, a second, and a third. The number here, sorry, I passed over that. This is the best figure he's ever earned overall on this surface. And then as we go across at this distance and on and off track. So again, this is this distance record, same thing. He started once, he's won once, earned an 80. On an off track, he started twice, he won once, came in third once. His best figure, which obviously would be that win, he earned a 90. So that kind of covers that section. I hope that covers that good for everyone. This is the overall rating of each horse. This is the main rating of the program. This captures basically these numbers because it is pace and speed oriented, but it incorporates a lot of other factors, main handicapping factors, connections. Is there a long layoff, which again we'll get to later. So recency, the form of the horse, the class of the horse. A lot of things go into this rating along with pace and speed, and tries to give the horse a overall numerical rating, which you can compare to the rest of the field. Obviously here, the top rating was Dr. B. He did finish second in the race. The second highest rating was Carmel Swirl. He won the race. And Rosa Veloce was a third rating, and he did run third. So nice trifecta there if you were just going with the numbers. So that covers PSV, I think. That is we feel real strong about it. It's a good rating. We've had very good results with it. Obviously, it's horse racing. Anything can happen. But there's, I always stress going for value. This race, this Dr. B was actually the favorite, even though Carmel Swirl was the morning line favorite. Carmel Swirl did win, but Dr. B was sent off as the favorite. But again, I stress going for value, so it's not, excuse me, just about looking at the highest number, and going with that necessarily. Sure, that horse has got a great chance to win, but I can't stress value enough when playing with these numbers. Obviously, you can just go with the numbers. Just use them as they are, because they're strong. We've seen them do very well since we launched this and before when we were designing it. So, and again, at $19 a month to subscribe to this, it's I believe it's pretty hard to find better value in getting all this information like this. So, of course, I'm a little biased, but yeah, I just think it represents extremely good value for what you're getting. Okay, moving on to the pedigree numbers. These are the pedigree ratings for each horse on dirt, on turf, and at today's distance, which is obviously designed along with maybe trainer stats here, obviously, but to help you a little bit more if you're playing a race with a lot of first timers. It kind of gives you an idea on the pedigree of the horse. So this race really don't even need it because everybody has plenty of starts. Do you want to use it? Maybe, yes, in an instance where if a horse has been running on the turf and now he's trying a dirt, or maybe he's been sprinting and he's stretching out. Might give you an idea. Hey, he should be able to get the distance. His pedigree suggests he can get the distance. So it can help you with decisions like that. So just another little tool there. In certain circumstances, you can lean on that a little bit. Surface changes, distance changes, first time starters. Then the column over here in the light blue is your last class they competed at, and then the trainer name. So again, back to the one horse. He ran a grade 3 for fillies. It was the distaff, I'm sorry, and it was 37 days ago. The last column is days since last race. So 37 days ago, not bad. You know, I think everybody kind of has their own idea on layoff lines. Me personally, mine's probably a little bit longer out than most. I don't concern myself with it too much till it gets to maybe 120 days. And even at that, it really doesn't bother me a whole lot anymore. A lot of people have them at 60 days or 90 days. you know, you get something like if you look at this horse in the next race, who actually ended up winning, but 243 days off. Well, that might throw up a little yellow flag, but anyways, yeah, days since last race here to help you with that. And again, this all the way down is, see, these two obviously ran in the same race against each other last time, 37 days out. Raymond Handel trains this a 19% win percentage. And again, if it's over 40 starts this year, it's this year. If he's under 40 starts this year, it combines this year and last year's stats to come to that number. So these two ran against each other last year, and obviously Funny How did beat Rosa Veloce in that race. But you don't know what the pace scenario was like or anything in that particular race. You do, however, know what it's like in today's race. And as you can see, Funny How beat Rosa Veloce, but Rosa Veloce has a better rating here in this race. And he did beat Funny How. He ran third. Funny How did not hit the board. So, and you can just scroll down and see, I mean, obviously, the 4-horse, again, Mosienko is stepping up significantly today coming out of that little allowance race there. Everybody else has been at least in a smaller stake or a graded stake. Yeah, pretty good information here. I think, again, for the value, $19 a month is going to get you somewhere around probably 100 racetracks a month. We post Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday's usually 2, 3, 4 tracks. Thursdays, 3 or 4 tracks. Friday we use a little more, and then obviously there's more on Saturday and Sunday. So, depending on the week and what's going on, we cover the bigger racetracks, the larger circuits, but then we also at times we will include some of the smaller circuits, especially when they have some of their bigger cards. So Yeah, check us out, psvcap.com. I think you'll be happy with it, and we've already got some good feedback from some of our current customers. So thanks for watching. I'll be posting some more videos in the near future.